All right, Riley and I are ready to start the day now. This is Pierce Pond Lean-To, the shelter that we stayed in last night. That's Pierce Pond right there. We couldn't even see the pond when we got here last night because it was dark. And I walked all the way down there to get water because I heard the sound of water down there. I didn't know that I could have just gone down right there to get water from the pond. Anyway, this is probably one of the prettiest views from any shelter on the entire trail. Riley needs to pee. He's been in the shelter all morning, so of course he needs to pee. So Harrison's, there's a Blue Blaze trail that leads to Harrison's Pierce Pond Camp, the traditional Maine sporting camp that I mentioned in my video yesterday. Goes that way. We're gonna go back to the AT now. So we got a little itsy bitsy uphill here. Come on, big guy. Come on, big guy. And then like in a 1/10 of a mile, come on, big guy. We got to cross. Oh no, we gotta go. Blue Blaze goes that way. Anyway, we'll get to the same place. In a 1/10 of a mile, we have to cross a dam. And it's not really a bridge over the dam. So either my feet are gonna get all wet, or I'm gonna have to take my shoes off and take my socks off. Ugh! Ugh! So today is Thursday, October 3rd. Whew, 12 more days after today until October 15th. So it's day 154 of our hike. We're starting the day. Riley, come on, dude. How do we get back here? Where's the friggin' Blue Blaze? There's a double Blue Blaze that way. Where's the next Blue Blaze? That way. I don't see the next Blue Blaze. I think we have to go this way, Riley. Is that right? I don't know. There's a Blue Blaze up there. Okay. Come on, Riley. Riley, come on, dude. Right, let's get untangled here, buddy. Riley, all right, we're back on the AT now. That was the sign that we got to last night. This Blue Blaze is kind of tricky, but anyway. All right, so yeah. AT continues this way, Riley. Riley, let me get in front, buddy. Let me get in front, sir. So Dr. J, the one guy that I saw yesterday, one of the things he mentioned to me was that this Pierce Pond Lean-To is one of the prettiest areas on the AT. And when he said that to me, I was thinking, yeah, I feel like I've heard that so many times. So many places where people say, oh, it's such pretty views. People said that about the Bigelow Range having the best views on trail. Just a second here. All right, continuing on here. Riley, let me go first, man. You're gonna make me walk right into you. All right. Oh my goodness, Riley. Come on, dude. Come on. So that's the privy for the shelter. Looks like a very nice privy. Yes, so I was thinking to myself, yeah, I've heard this so many times. But I can at least agree that the view from the shelter is one of the nicest views of any shelter. Like, most shelters don't have like a beautiful pond that you can just look out onto. Come on, Riley. I know there's a shelter, I think it's called Vandeventer Shelter. I think it's like as you're pretty close to getting to Damascus going northbound. And I think that shelter, it's like built right next to a kind of like a cliff area. And so that shelter also has really nice views, although I've never stayed in that shelter. Anyway, Pierce Pond, this is another entrance to the lean-to. Very nice. All right, we're gonna continue northbound, and I might as well try to film our crossing of this dam, because I am definitely worried about it. I'm kind of being a little baby because it's just water. It's not super cold out. It's not the end of the world if I get my little itsy bitsy precious feet wet, or my ankles wet, or my shoes wet, or my socks wet. It's not a big deal. I should toughen up and just suck it up, right? Just be a big boy about it. Come on, Riley. So double white blaze indicates a turn usually. All right, we're getting here. And then something I haven't mentioned is like 3 or 4 or something like that, just a few miles after this, we're going to be crossing the Kennebec River. And we're going to have to take a ferry to get across, so that'll be cool. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, there's not really any friggin' rocks to cross here. This kind of sucks. So what the hell are we gonna do here? Like, this is too deep for Riley, right? I can carry you across. That would be kind of tricky. Let's get out a little closer, Riley. Come on, come here. Come here, Riley. It's okay. Okay, sir. Well, Lady Madonna. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I think I might have to make 2 trips. One where I try to carry Riley across with my shoes on, and I'll just get my shoes wet. And then another one where I carry my pack across. So, Riley, hold up, buddy. Hold up. Hold up, big guy. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Lady Madonna. Hold up, Riley. Hold up, buddy. Oh, Riley. Oh, Riley. Oh, Riley. All right, so the hard part's over with. Riley is across. Now I'm gonna go back for my pack. But it did not go according to plan. I was walking across and I slipped and fell. And Riley fell in the water. And we both got soaked. And then once we fell, I just got back up as quickly as I could. And we just scampered across as quickly as we were able to. It is definitely slippery on these rocks here. Definitely slippery. And I banged my right knee on the rock when I fell, which was not good at all. Ah, buddy. I didn't take the best path either. I think I'm taking a better path now, where I'm kind of able to at least step on some rocks, but I kind of went through that area and I got in some deep water, and that's what led to me slipping. Oh, buddy. Yeah, so my pants are all soaked here. Thank goodness it is not, I don't know, it doesn't feel super cold today. So hopefully it'll dry out relatively soon. Oh, buddy, this still sucks though. I'm gonna try to stretch out my leg here. It's okay, Riley. Oh, buddy. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna. All right, I'm just gonna put this on like so. Do 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 do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Now we gotta get across and keep on moving so that my legs don't get too cold here. All right. Now, yeah, so I went that way because that's the most direct way to get to the other side, but it goes through pretty deep water there. That's the way I went when I was with Riley. But I think this is a little better way here. Okay. And now there's rocks that are closer to the surface here. And it's also good that I have my trekking poles here. This helps me to keep my balance. Might as well rock hop when I'm able to. Yeah, this actually isn't that bad if you just have to take yourself over. Just got to be careful with the flowing water here. I think I can get here. And here, yep. All right, we're fine here. My feet are already wet. What's a little more water? Mr. Riley, we did it! We're still alive! How you doing, buddy? Good boy! Good boy, Riley. Oh, good boy. Shake! Shake! We're through, we're over. We're alive. All right, so I honestly feel happy now. I feel happy. We are over. It is over with. We're wet, but at least it's done with. Over and done with. We can continue on. All right. Hello again. Riley and I have made it to the Kennebec River. We had a pleasant hike after getting wet while we were fording that stream earlier, or the dam, which is the outlet of Pierce Pond. And my pants are pretty much dry now, which is good. It's nice that it's a sunny day. It's not hot, but it's not cold either. Please consider making a donation to the operation of Kennebec Ferry Service. Since the AT's origin in 1937, the crossing has relied on a ferry. This unique, iconic landmark depends on funding from people like you for its continued operation. Yes, and because I fell in and I was carrying Riley, and it was like an uncontrolled fall, I got my shirt wet also, and like I got, you know, up to my waist wet. I got, you know, above my waist wet, over my belly button. I got the sleeves of my shirt wet. So my shirt is still damp. Come here, Riley. Come here, buddy. But it is drying out, and it's keeping me. I was chilly earlier, but I'm pretty comfortable now. Still a little cool. Anyway, so I just called this lady named Cheryl, and she operates a private ferry service. The regular ferry that's maintained by the Appalachian Trail Conservancy only operates for free between up until September 30th, and today is October 3rd, so you missed it by 3 days, I guess. So since we're using a private ferry, the charge is going to be $50, and I believe I have exactly $50 in cash. I just called her. She said give me 10 minutes, so she should be here soon, and then we'll be on our way on the other side. Thank goodness we don't have to try to ford this ourselves. Some people do. Some people try to swim across. And I've been told it can be done safely, but you really have to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then it's a bad idea to try it. Because there's a good flow right now, but the dam, which is up that way, can be released at like any time, I guess, and that can significantly increase the flow. and make it much more dangerous. And you would just get carried way down there, way downstream. So, all right, Mr. Riley. You're so beautiful, Riley. All right, so we'll check in later. Good boy. Okay, so Riley and I are safely across the canoe over there with the one person in it. That is Cheryl. She was our guide. She lives just around the corner there. And yeah, she was very helpful. Gave me very good instructions on what I needed to do and how to get in, and I helped to paddle the canoe. And it was she made it easy. She just gave me very good instructions. I was just following her instructions to as best I could, and wasn't complicated, but I'm not experienced with this sort of thing, so the last thing I would want would be for the canoe to tip over or anything bad to happen. And Riley was very good. He just he sat right behind me and just looked, and I was facing the opposite way, so I couldn't see him, but Cheryl said he was doing great. And the last thing that she said to me, or one of the last things, was that on this side, and this is something I distinctly remember from my previous hike in 2018, was that on this side of the Kennebec River, the trail is much more friendly, much more pleasant, much easier, I would say, than the trail on that side of the river. So that is, I told her that is music to my ears, because I did remember that was really my recollection, was that the trail really gets easier once you cross the Kennebec River. Other people have told me once you get over the Bigelows, which is somewhat true, but there's, there were still, rocks and roots and lots of mud to deal with. All right, so there is our white blaze. We know where we need to go now. And I did have exactly $50 on me, so I just took it out and gave it to her, thanked her very much, and we are on our way here. So many wonderful smells here, Riley. I gave Riley, hold up, buddy, come on, Riley, what are you doing? Come on. Gave Riley food and water while we were waiting for Cheryl to arrive, so he should be well fed for now. And my knee that I mentioned that I hit when I fell earlier today, come on, Riley, I can still feel it, but it's not, I don't feel any pain with it. It's not hampering my ability to walk at all, so should be fine. Riley's gonna be peeing more now because I gave him a good bit of water while we were waiting for Cheryl. Come on, big guy, let's enjoy this beautiful trail here. Cheryl also mentioned that there's expected to be some rain on Saturday. She said not a lot of rain though, but some rain. So Saturday I'm hoping to get into Munson and stay at Shaw's. So if we can do that, that just gives us more motivation to do, as to try to get as close as we can to Munson by Friday, and then maybe have somewhat shorter day on Saturday, and then maybe we can either completely avoid the rain or, you know, just minimize our time in the rain. And even if we get wet, it will be wonderful to be able to get to the hostel by the end of the day and have a good place to sleep and be able to dry our clothes out, take a shower, and then start the next day nice and fresh. All right, I'm in a good mood. This trail is beautiful here. Absolutely beautiful. Cheryl, when she said that the trail changes on this side of the river, she said you'll be able to get 20-25 miles in a day. I think she said easy, like 20-25 miles easy. I didn't reply to that. I think that's still a little much for Riley and I, but I mean, I'm sure we could get 20 miles if we really focused on it, if we like got up really early and then really put our mind to it, but we don't have to get 20 miles. I still want to, you know, be able to hike at a comfortable pace, and I want to get a good sleep each night. I don't particularly enjoy getting up super early. Riley, dude, what are you doing? So, but we'll take whatever pleasant trail the trail will provide to us. I will take it without complaint. Come on, big guy. And fortunately, I had my cache on me within 3 plastic bags. I had a Ziploc bag, and then another Ziploc bag, and then the cache was in a doggy bag. So even though I fell in the water this morning and my fanny pack did get submerged in the water, the cache was still dry. So it didn't get ruined, and I was able to still use it to pay for the ferry. Cheryl seemed really nice. Also, I did stop in to when we crossed by the side trail that leads into Harrison's Pierce Pond camps. That was only that side trail is only 0.1 leading to the camp where Harrison's is, and I decided to go in there. And I was thinking I could just say hi to the owner. His name is Tim. I've heard he's a really nice guy. So Riley and I went in, but I didn't see anybody there. It was we did see the main lodge and like the dining room area, and it looked very nice. But I didn't see any people. I did see Tim's dog. He has a little dog. He got close enough to kind of say hi, but Riley started barking and then he kept his distance. So we just walked in, and when I didn't see anybody there, then we walked out and continued on our way. So we're gonna cross a road here soon. There's a town called Caratunk that is a short ways away, and there's a hiker hostel called the Sterling Inn, which is like a 1.5 miles away. But there's no need for us to go into town. We have plenty of food on us to get us to Munson. And we also just want to utilize the time we have. Riley! utilize the time we have to make progress on the trail. Riley. Hold up, buddy. There used to be a hiker hostel down that road, like literally just a very short distance. In 2018, on my hike, I did stop in at the hostel that was down that road. Come on, Riley. Come on, dude. Come on, man. And that was a very well-known hostel at the time. It was famous for making, the guy made homemade milkshakes. Come on, Riley, you gotta get off the road. The guy's name is Paul, if I remember correctly. And he offered tenting and bunk rooms, I think, and private rooms in his house. Come on, Riley, this way. And he also made a very nice breakfast, served family style in the morning. And so I got across the river, like right when the ferry service closed, around 2 p.m. And then I stopped into the hostel to kind of just to check it out. And it was kind of early in the day for me to stop, but I was hooked by the prospect of a very nice breakfast the next day. So I decided to tent there and then enjoy the breakfast the next day and take a shorter day. But the hostel that was there is no longer operating, apparently. I don't know. I mean, it's been 6 years, so a lot can happen in 6 years. And yeah, that hostel is no longer operating. But there's a new hostel called the Sterling Inn, which I've heard very good things about. All right. Hello again, Van Gogh and Riley here. The trail has been mostly very pleasant since crossing the Kennebec. But I do not have good news to report on my left hamstring. So last night, when we were hiking in the dark, getting to doing the last push to get to the Pierce Pond lean-to, and we were going through that real muddy stretch, which was also pretty rocky. I mentioned in the video that there was like this one stretch where there was like pretty deep mud that went like ankle deep, and I didn't realize it, and I stepped in it with my right foot. And anyway, so at some point last night, I aggravated my left hamstring. I think I slightly pulled it. And I think it was right around that time when I stepped in the ankle deep mud, and I was trying to yank myself out. And it wasn't like super painful, but I definitely felt it last night. And it just felt kind of weird. And so I was aware of it. And then I slept on it overnight, and I got up this morning, and it wasn't bothering me this morning. And I was able to hike on it just fine. And all the way to the Kennebec River, it wasn't bothering me at all. I felt like I was able to walk normally. But then after we crossed the Kennebec,
I must have done something to aggravate it, because I'm definitely feeling it again now. All right, where do we got to cross here, Riley? We have some rocks to use. That looks kind of deep there. Excuse me, Riley, we need to come up with a plan first. All right, I want to go this way. Right. Over here. All right, we can go back here. Hold up, Riley. Come here, buddy. Riley, come here. Come here, Riley. Just follow me, buddy. All right, so as I was saying, I must have done something to aggravate it. Because when I try to, like, if I try to, like, just extend my leg in a motion that directly, you know, when you, like, lift your leg up and then, Riley, wait. Calm down. Shake. So when you flex your hamstring, it really does not feel good at all when I do it with my left leg. So I've been trying to alter my walking style in a way so that I can walk as much as possible without using my left hamstring, so I don't feel any pain. I feel like I've been able to do a decent job of it, but it's definitely slowing my pace down. But at least I'm able to make progress and walk to some extent without feeling like I'm aggravating it further. But it's definitely concerning. Because I feel like I'll definitely need it to be at full strength for the, ideally, you know, as soon as possible, but definitely for the 100-mile wilderness and then up Katahdin. So hopefully it'll heal. I feel like hamstrings are not known to be things that heal quickly. But not much I can do about it other than try to walk in a way that doesn't aggravate it, and just hope that it heals. Hope that the rest that I give it at night will allow it to heal itself. Fortunately, we're not in a very difficult stretch right now, so it's easy for me to adjust my hiking style and definitely easier for me to not put pressure on my left hamstring when the trail is not as demanding as it could be. Mr. Riley. All right, so I have a little news to report. We just crossed this road here. And I think we're a half mile from the next lean-to, which is called Pleasant Pond Lean-to. And then we have a a steep climb to climb up Pleasant Pond Mountain. But I, just as we crossed the road, I saw something right here. And there was this thing that was just resting right there. And it's a book. It's a book. It's a book for kids. Scholastic book. It's called Invisible Stanley by Jeff Brown. Pictures by Scott Nash, author of Flat Stanley. And I just finished my book, The Firm. There's something on my GoPro here. So, this looks like a very nice, lightweight, fun book to read. So I'm going to take it and I can read it tonight. Or I can start reading it tonight. And maybe I can finish it before I get to Shaw's, and then leave it at Shaw's if someone else wants it. So cool. Invisible Stanley. Let me just read the synopsis here. Disappearing act. One morning after a terrible storm. Ooh, a terrible storm. Stanley Lambchop is nowhere to be found. His family can hear him, and there is a lump under his covers, but no one can find him. Just where is that boy? Then they discover the truth. Stanley is invisible. At first, Stanley is very busy. There is so much for an invisible boy to do. But will he stay that way forever? Well, that sounds very, very fascinating. Quite a plot. So, I will look forward to reading this tonight. Riley and I are hiking up Pleasant Pond Mountain right now. This is the steep climb that I referred to earlier. It's supposed to just be 1.5 miles from the lean-to, I think, to the summit of Pleasant Pond Mountain. And then there's another mountain called, I think, Moxie Bald Mountain, something like that. We won't get to that today, but that is the only other like steep mountain that exists after Pleasant Pond Mountain until Main Route 15, which leads into Munson. So I'm still able to hike without my left hamstring bothering me too much. Hold up. Fortunately, like when I'm doing these climbs, I can still use my left leg to like power up, because you only rely on your quadricep muscle to power up. It's more when you're like just in a normal walking pace. Riley, when you're in like more of a normal walking stride, Riley, hold up, and you're pushing off the ground in a normal walking stride, that you use like, I guess, a combination of your quadricep and your hamstring. But I feel like when you're more focused on just like ascending elevation, you really just rely more primarily, almost exclusively, I think, on your quadricep. So I'm able to still use both legs to power up. But when I'm in more of a normal walking stride like this, I am kind of just treating my left leg more like a crutch to help balance myself, but I'm not really relying on it to push off the ground. It's not that I don't think I could. I think I could, but I think I just need, in the abundance and in the interest of being extra cautious, I feel like I need to just give my left hamstring as much of a break as I can to avoid aggravating it. Also, I think I mentioned something earlier when we crossed that road just after the Kennebec River, and I was talking about that old hostel that used to be there in my 2018 hike, and I said that they made like homemade milkshakes, and then I was thinking about it afterwards, like I feel like every milkshake is homemade. You don't like go out and buy a pre-made milkshake at a grocery store. So it wasn't the fact that it was homemade milkshakes, but they definitely had milkshakes. I think he charged $5 for a milkshake, and there was something unique about it. I think it was the blender that he used. I think it was just like a vintage antique blender that was just very pretty or something that he had in his kitchen. I think that's what was supposedly unique about it, but I just remember one of the things to do there was to get a milkshake. So I got one. I remember having that when I first got there, and then also enjoy the breakfast the next day. So we still have daylight, but we don't have a ton of daylight left. I can't even see the sun right now, just because there's so many trees. Hold up, buddy. So, Invisible Stanley. Something exciting to look forward to tonight. All right, it's been another long, steep climb, and we are on top of another bald spot or rocky outcrop on top of a mountain. So we must be getting close to the summit here of Pleasant Pond Mountain. We are definitely approaching the end of the day. The sun is already behind the mountain on the other side there. I did check far out earlier, and there are a few campsites coming up, but I'm thinking I'm okay with doing a little night hiking to try to get a little closer to Munson to make it more realistic that we'll be able to get there by Saturday. I'm guessing we're going in the right direction here, Riley. Is this the right direction? I don't see any cairns. I don't see any blazes. There's a blaze. This looks like the summit here. This looks like the summit. All right, very good. Beautiful summit, Riley. Let's continue on. It's getting chilly with the sun going down. It's not super cold, just getting, a little chilly. Fortunately, I think my shirts are mostly dry. I was wearing all four of my shirts this morning when I fell into that water. And then after I got warm enough, I took the top 3 shirts off, and I'm just in my single layer shirt now, and the other shirts are hanging around my neck. So they've had the whole day to like get aired out. So, and I can feel them right now. They feel mostly dry, maybe slightly damp, but I'll definitely be able to wear them tonight and rely on them for warmth. But I'm not expecting that it's going to be a super cold night tonight, since we still are at relatively low elevation compared to where we've been at before. But we'll see. It's good. At least I feel like I can rely on the shirts to keep me warm. All right, I think I spoke too soon when I said this looks like the summit. Because it did look like the summit, but we went down and then we came back up, and now we're back on a peak. But this is the summit. So Pleasant Pond Mountain, elevation 2,447 feet. Yeah, we're definitely at lower elevations. Most of the other peaks that we've gotten to have been like over 4,000 feet. All right, so it says we've gone 7.7 miles since the Kennebec. Moxie Pond 4.7. Moxie Bald Mountain is the next mountain, 9.2. All right, let's continue, Riley. Continue. Which way, Riley? Do we go that way or this way? Which way, Riley? I think we go this way. That looks like a blaze right there. Whoa. Is that a blaze? Yeah, I think this is a blaze here. Pleasant Pond Mountain is not relying on cairns to mark the way. Just got to look for the blazes. So there we go. Hold up, Riley. Hold up. Oh, buddy. Hold up, Riley. Riley, hey. Two paths. I don't think we go there. I think we go this way, I'm guessing. That's sort of a cairn there. This mountain keeps taking us up and down and up and down and up and down, into the trees, out of the trees, in and out.
All right, hello. Van Gogh and Riley here. Just want to close out the day. We are in our tent now, and I opted to not do night hiking. I know I said earlier that I was okay with it, but we basically just got 0.3 of a mile after the summit for Pleasant Pond Mountain, and I'd seen a comment in Far Out that there was a nice spot for basically a nice campsite, 0.3 of a mile, and we finally got off the exposed rock area and down below tree line, and by that point it was
it was dark and it was time for me to get my headlamp out. And I just decided I don't want to do any night hiking. I'm just not feeling like that's something I want to do, especially because there's another mountain called Middle Mountain, which is 0.4 mile north of us right now. So it's coming up very soon. And that's another exposed rocky peak. And I was having some trouble just navigating that, navigating where to go when we were up on Pleasant Pond Mountain. And I had light to work with. It wasn't like middle of the day light, but I did have light, and I just didn't feel like it would be fun to try to go up over another exposed peak in the dark. So we got to this campsite, and it's beautiful. It's got it's plenty of space, nice pine needles, nice flat ground. So it's actually the first kind of campsite that where we're at tonight. It's definitely intended to be used as a campsite. And I feel like this is one of the first actual campsites that we've stayed at in a while. I feel like most of the ones that we've stayed at recently are less than ideal, and they're stealth sites. So it's nice to stay at a really nice campsite that is intended to be used as a campsite, and the ground is just perfectly suited for it. So anyway, so we, like I said, we're at 0.3 mile after the summit. We're at according to Far Out, mile 2053.3. We started the day at 2042 at Pierce Pond Shelter. So we hiked 11.3 miles today in total. We did get off to kind of a late start. I slept in a little bit and then was just slow to get going after I woke up. Kind of slow to pack up my things. And then I was also hiking kind of slow with my hamstring issue. But at least I'm able to hike. And hopefully a good night's rest will do it some good. We're currently 29.4 miles away from Main Route 15, which is the road we need to get into Munson and stay at Shaw's. So that means we have to average 14.7 tomorrow and Saturday just to get there, which is more than we've been doing recently. So we're gonna have to try to get off to an early start tomorrow, and just to give ourselves a chance to get there by Saturday. So we'll see what happens. If we don't get there by Saturday, it's not the end of the world. Just get where we get, and the important thing is to be safe and have fun. Night hiking is just, I'm okay with it if the trail is very pleasant and we're under tree line. I'm okay with it, but I'll also, it's not my favorite thing to do. So I guess I'm just bringing that up to just because there's a kind of a battle between trying to get further along on the trail to make more progress, but also trying to, stay comfortable and stay safe. And it's definitely important to stay comfortable and stay safe. And if we don't make as much progress on the trail as I want to, it doesn't necessarily mean we're not going to finish the hike. I've been targeting to try to finish by the 15th, but there's a good chance that if we don't finish by then, that we will have there's a good chance that Katahdin will not close on the 15th, and they'll close sometime later. So if we're not able to finish on the 15th, then it's quite possible we might have more time to work with. So the important thing is just to stay safe and enjoy the hike, and hopefully things will work out. So anyway, that's all I have to say for now. Closing out the day for Thursday, October 3rd, day number 154. And yeah, like always, I hope everyone is doing well, and we will check in tomorrow. All right, bye for now.